Ayan, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa Bitpinas Webcast. Nandito tayo sa episode 8 and tama ba? Yes, we are on episode 8 and salamat sa lahat na nanonood and hopefully madami kayo natututunan. So without further ado, i-up ko na ang ating co-host na si Chin. Hi Chin.
Hey Mike! Good afternoon.
Ayan, good
Oo,
afternoon.
episode 8 na today.
Oo nga, malapit na yung episode 10. So hopefully, yan magpatuloy.
Special.
So, special sa episode 10. Special din naman ngayon kasi we have,
Mm,
um, I think talagang mga pillars sa NFT industry
yes.
dito sa atin. So tawagin na natin si Jopet Arias ng Crypto RPH. Um, ayan, good,
Hello.
good
Hi,
afternoon,
Jopet.
Jopet. Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Ayos yung mic. And then
Okay na?
yes. Thank you. And finally graphic designer and ang caretaker, nag-manager ng First Mint Fund, which is pag-uusapan natin also today, si AJ Dimarucot. So Sir AJ, magandang hapon and thank you for coming.
Hey guys, kamusta? Thanks for
Hi,
having me.
AJ.
Hmm.
Hello.
So yeah, thank you and alam ko medyo
Jopet, hello.
busy kayo.
Hindi ko alam na may live show ngayon eh. Kala ko Twitter Spaces lang.
Oo nga, akala ni Sir AJ kanina,
Napahilamos
Twitter
tuloy ako.
Space.
Toothbrush pa ako para lang sa inyo.
Salamat po. And thank you for accommodating us with the jobs and AJ. I know you're busy talaga ngayon, especially this month. So yeah. So for this show, ang pag-usapan natin is more on NFT and art. So meron na kaming webcast about NFT noong
Mm,
January 13. So nandun yung mga Q&A natin like what is NFT, what makes it
the basics.
valuable. Yeah, the basics. So panoodin nyo lang. Andun din si Tito Jobs. Yeah, and then after nung NFT art, more on kay AJ and then and Jopet and their initiatives. And then we are going to discuss yung First Mint Fund, which is an
Yes.
initiative to help new artists get onboarded to the blockchain. And then we'll briefly discuss, since it's the National Arts Month, yung nasa Senate ngayon na Creative Industries Charter of the Philippines. And if we still have time, yung Q&A from the audience and some of the questions that we prepared. So brief lang doon sa winners ng last NFT webcast. So at that time, so pinaguess na pinahulaan namin yung mga artist na nandito. So I think si Gian nag-message na sa amin. So yung mga winners na nakasulat, mag-message lang kayo ulit or itatag ko na lang kayo after ng show na to. Okay? So Shane?
All right. So, Aldrin is one of our guests prior to, I think, the first webcast, no, Mike?
Yeah.
So, he needs our help. So, if you guys go to his page, Crypto Fortune, he creates technical analysis guides and how to's with getting onboarded with crypto and trading. But now he needs our help. His father is actually in the hospital and is going through like tough financial times now. So, if anyone wants to donate or lend a help with Aldrin, please just message his page or get in touch with us sa Bitpinas. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we dive into AJ and Jopet, I just wanted to pull this up. So if you can see in this chart, I just want to discuss the NFT growth with the recent months. So if you look into Google Trends and search NFT, you can see the increase here. So from 2021 coming into January 2022, you can see the interest over time really grows. And there are reports or from data analytics websites that actually say that there's 4 billion in trading volume for the month of January just for OpenSea. So NFT craze, it's really growing. I mean, before around quarter 3, quarter 4 of the year, there was an NFT craze. But ngayon, kita natin na tumataas pa siya lalo. So, it's a really great focus for us for this webcast to really discuss and get to know more into the local artists naman. So, Mike, for the next slide, we just want to spotlight first Sir AJ. So, uh, here we can see like media features and then your LinkedIn credentials. So can you share with our audience like who you are and your experience in graphic design and how you got into NFTs?
Oh, mahaba-haba 'to, guys.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
so
listen.
yeah, I'm just gonna give a brief background on my experience kasi I'm sure marami tayong pag-uusapan.
Mm,
I'm a kid who grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I discovered a software called Photoshop for a cracked version, and decided then that how do I put a picture of somebody on my own face, and that was my first artwork, kumbaga. And that's how I basically said, I'm a graphic designer because I know how to use Photoshop. I was one of those kids, and then I learned how to, I was just studying it. I was self study, and then I learned how to create a website, and then I got into dahil doon nagkaroon ako ng job, and then I got into because I designed websites at that time and nobody knew what it was. I was pirated in an ad agency, and then started their digital department, and then um, left that world in 2008 and freelanced for the last 12 to 12 years now, I guess, 2008 to, yeah, more than 12 years.
mm,
So till today, and then got to work with big brands, mostly in the apparel space. Um, Big brands like Nike, Jordan brand, you name it, the favorite brands of a lot of people. Um, and then last year, I discovered Clubhouse and learned about NFTs. Pretty much the same time last year. So
yeah,
nakinig ko lang ako every day sa Clubhouse, and then people were started talking about NFTs. Ano ba yun? NFTs are cool. I think I even remember nung NFT craze nung nag-start pa lang yung mga what was that? Yung board ape. Kinikwento nila, you should buy these apes. And I'm like, huh? What do I do? Why should I buy them? Sobrang mura pa. And I'm like, sayang, sana bumili ako. Anyway, so I got into NFTs because I discovered that the thing that I was doing back in the 90s, which was yung gumagawa ako ng digital parang work in Photoshop, to me, the value, I had to put that work into something else to create value for myself as an artist, as a designer. Kailangan ko siyang ilagay sa ibang item, sa ibang product, sa ibang para magkaroon siya ng value, no? Kailangan ko gumawa ng website, kailangan ko gumawa ng t-shirt for the last. It had to be something else other than the work that I created on the computer, right? So there
right.
was no value other than that kasi walang value yung ginagawa natin sa computer or digitally until NFTs came along. So that's what when it really parang the epiphany came to me, and it became a mind-blowing concept that what digital pa lang pwede mo na siyang bigyan ng value, and you can actually sell the digital file. So being somebody who was doing digital work in the 90s, I was all in, and I immediately parang realized the potential, and I realized na okay, let's make an NFT. And I met the crypto OGs of the Philippines. Of kilala niyo na yun sigurado, sila Gabby Dizon, sila Colin. Gabby offered me, AJ, if you make your first NFTs, I'll buy three of them. I'll buy your first three. So ako naman, it took me 2 weeks to study. Nag-aral-aral ako sa Clubhouse. Ano ba to? Kinakabahan ako kasi I don't know what to do. And then he said, AJ, walang mangyayari sa'yo kung panay-kinig ka lang dyan sa Clubhouse. Gumawa ka na ng NFT mo. And then I had to learn about the wallets. I had to learn about the gas fees, and then get Ethereum. I found some friends to help me, make a wallet, put money into it, and then sold my first three NFTs to Gabby. And nagkaroon pa ng bidding war kasi sa foundation siya, kasi foundation you can bid on the ano, 'di ba? You can bid on the work. And that's when I got hooked into NFTs, and got to collaborate with the likes of Apple the app, for his first drop, for his video. Wala pa yung video niya, pero gumawa kami ng work sa kanya. And then Gabby and Colin, should I introduce First Mid Fund na rin? Or mamaya na, guys?
I guess introduce mo na din because it goes along with
Yes.
your story.
Yeah. So Gabby bought my work, and so Gabby, yeah, and so Gabby and Colin are the founders of Nara Gallery, ito yung first gallery, Filipino gallery in the metaverse, basically. And they said, do you have more friends who want to get into the NFT space? And I'm like, I know a lot of people who are artists and they might be interested. And so they said, let's create a fund specifically to have Filipinos and Southeast Asian artists to get into the space. And they raised between themselves just a little. I think it was just 100,000 pesos. So just put some little money here. They said to start it along, and then they gave me, the parang the management role, just to help give these funds out to people. And then okay, let's do it. And then the funds grew until to a peak of about 18 ETH at that time, which was 4,000 per, at least per, basta ilang mga $7 million yung I need to give pesos that I need to give away for for people to get on into NFTs, na mga Pilipino, mga Singaporean, mga Indonesian, mga Malaysian, maraming sumali. In fact, one of the sponsors that we so that's First Mid Fund. So it's really just a fund for people to get into NFTs. At ang tanong is, ano yung kapalit? Do you earn money? Do you make money off of it? To me, it's all voluntary work that I do for them. And for the artists, we don't make money from anything. We don't get back money from any of their sales. It's on the artists if they want to help out and help other artists and give back to the fund. It's totally up to them. So yeah, one of the artists from Indonesia, si Tila, we funded her. She couldn't pay for the gas fees to create an NFT, and
Right.
she got featured on OpenSea, and now she's earned millions of pesos. I think mga 25 million pesos yata yung ano niya, yung parang yung ano niya her whole collection. So yun, I mean, that's just the general overview of things, and we can really discuss later if you have questions.
Right. And AJ, you mentioned that when you first got into NFTs, you really had to understand like smart contracts or like wallets
Mhm.
and making sure that what you're getting into is something that you're really knowledgeable about. So that took you around like how many weeks or months,
It took
like
me
just to
months
get the overall.
kasi weeks siguro yung to actually get the wallet and all that. Pero until today, it's just so new that you learn so many new things na kailangan mong parang kulang yung since last year I'm still learning. Pero siguro to get your wallet and to get your first Ethereum, siguro that'll take a day or two, pero you really need to focus. Pero the whole idea of since I was listening all day on what's that place, Clubhouse before, so
Yeah.
nakikita ko yung people na okay, so you have to save your seed phrase. Okay, you can't save it on your computer, you can't save it on your phone. So yung seed phrase pala is parang the password to your wallet na parang. So everything about these things, parang it opened up the door for me also for Web 3.0, which is single na lang yung login natin sa lahat ng websites, which is your wallet. So parang kailangan kong na-learn ko lahat ng concepts na yan along the way. And now
Mhm.
I'm also getting into DeFi. So the other coins, Bitcoin, all of that, parang public NFTs was siya yung gateway for crypto for me.
Right.
So marami akong nalo-learn to this day. It doesn't end.
Yeah, I remember nung early days ng Clubhouse, and I
Mm.
think I was one. I was like a participant in the room. You guys were really talking about NFTs and how to get started, especially in the Filipino community, right? So it's
Yes,
amazing just to see the growth from Clubhouse to like
absolutely.
Twitter
Yeah,
Spaces. Now we have these webcasts.
yeah.
Speaking more about into First Mint Fund, so do you guys actually provide like basic how tos or like the first step to get onboarded with these artists, more than just the fund to mint their first NFT?
yeah, yeah, hindi kami yun. It's just me actually doing all of that.
Mm.
So just looking at they apply, I look at their work. So medyo syempre at the beginning mahirap siya kasi you need to handhold people, 'di ba? Parang
Yeah.
baka mawala, ano ba yung wallet, ano ba yung MetaMask, ganun. So and we actually need to improve that. That's why we're gonna do something different. Kasi pa isa-isa email back and then napunta sa spam ko yung sir, hindi ko alam, gusto mo na pala magpadala ng funds or hindi ko alam yung next step. So it's still a very cumbersome process kasi it's all just me just replying to people, and hand holding and saying, okay na ba to? Tama ba yung wallet address ko? A lot of them made mistakes kasi they sent me the wallet address of OpenSea, for example.
Right.
And nag-send ako ng mga funds na kunyari, $100, 150, tapos ay mali. Ako, I had to pay for the gas fee. So and tas nag-send siya ulit, tas mali na naman. So
Okay.
gas fees na naman. So yun pala, ako rin, I didn't know. Parang I had to check pala yung Etherscan kung yung wallet address niya is legit.
Mm.
So things like that. There's a lot of growing pains and maraming ways to, maraming mga nangyayari na mali-mali, tulong-tulungan, helping each other out, and a lot of people now know, though, I noticed, mas kabisado na nila. Kumbaga, meron na akong wallet, sir, or meron na akong account sa OpenSea, gano'n. So, kulang na lang talaga yung Ethereum niya. So, parang it's really cool kasi people are more knowledgeable about
Right.
parang getting into the space.
Yeah, and it opens like opportunities for like education with like
Mm.
NFT artists, with wallets, smart contracts, like royalties, even like
Yes.
how to properly price their work.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, we want to discuss the next slide for
Yes.
First Mint Fund. Yeah. So this one, I think Mike, you can speak more about this because you were in the Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, so nabanggit na ni Sir AJ 'no, yung parang medyo matagal yung anong tawag dun, pagdi-disburse ng funds ng First Mint Fund para to onboard more artists. So,
Mm.
last week, siguro ito lang atang Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday, when you
Sunday.
announce, yes, Sunday, when you announce na magkakaroon ng parang NFT minting party for first time NFT minters. So, this is for AJ and Jopet, no? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng minting party and bakit ba magkakaroon ng ganitong party and paano ba sasali dito?
Jopet, ikaw,
Again,
baka may explain.
Ayun. So, mag mag-start sa Discord. So, yun. Kailangan nasa Discord sila ng Sunday. And then, gonna try yung rapid review ng portfolio, and syempre, i-double check namin yung MetaMask address kung tama ba. And we're going to help uh, may mga co-artist tayo from Crypto Art PH na willing tumulong kung paano at least ma-lessen lang yung mga i-scan yung mga gawa ng mga artist, or yung at least MetaMask, kasi nga yun nga paano kung mali yung MetaMask. And then later on, pag mababa na yung gas fee, yung Gwei, malalaman naman natin yun around 4 p.m. onwards. So doon na tayo pwede mag-start, and then i-announce na lang sa Discord. At least sana nasa Discord sila pag na-announce, and nasa PC or sa computer para mas madaling makapag ready sila pag tinawag na sila, i-announce naman yung sa server. So ayun
Yeah.
po.
Jopet, just to clarify, the Discord na you're talking about is the Crypto Art PH Discord or First Mint Fund Discord?
Yung Crypto Art PH Discord.
Okay, Crypto Art PH.
Yeah,
Alright.
the whole idea came about lang kasi like, as in literally like last week lang. Kasi I've been, yun nga, super busy since last year because of mga NFT related work also, and projects and the metaverse and all that. So yung pag-disperse ng funds ng First Mint Fund, I was really quite slow, to be honest. Mga 2 in a week, minsan 2 in a month. So super bagal. And then so sila Gabby and sila Colin were saying we need to find a way to disperse the funds faster. So ako parang okay, maybe we should do, maybe I could do like like a group minting party, like a group, you know, parang sabay-sabay tayo. Kumbaga, isa lang yung tutulungan namin paano gumawa ng MetaMask, isa lang yung parang ano ba yung wallet address ko, isang tanungan lang para sa maraming tao.
Mm.
So, and then I brought it up with Jopet kasi nga he's very involved in Twitter Spaces and Discord and the group, the Crypto RTH group, as well as other groups. So sabi niya, AJ, matagal ko na rin yan actually naiisip na gawin natin. So matagal na pala kami nag-iisip ng yun. So finally, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the first time we're gonna do a minting party for NFT artists. So we're not really sure how to go about it in a sense na parang we're gonna wing it a little bit. So meron tayong kung walang tao, di, I don't know. So maybe we'll just mint 2 people, but hopefully there'll be a lot of people who send us applications and on firstmintfund.com, and then we'll take a look at the work and then say please come to this event so that we
Right.
can mint your work live. Or kung wala sila, biglang may walk-in lang na ito po yung portfolio ko. Tapos sasabihin namin, okay naman. Kasi may mga iba kasing gumagawa lang ng sila ng isang Instagram account tapos may 2 work lang sila na parang tapos hindi wala silang pangalan. Parang gumawa lang sila ng account na magkaroon lang ng funding. So parang minsan medyo kakaduda, di ba? So we prefer artists with a little bit of
Portfolio.
portfolio, established na yung presence niya online in a sense. Konting ganun lang, konting vetting of these of the artists. Yun, so hopefully marami tayong makukuha, Jopet, na artist na sumali at marami tayong mamimint na mga first timers.
Yun, so
Yun.
ang question ni Egon Lyson, ano daw yung dapat ihanda sa party na to? I guess kay Tito Jobs, ano yung kailangan meron sila bago sila pumasok dun
Requirements.
sa, ano yung requirements?
Requirements. First, ayun, you need to learn how to use Discord. Napakadali lang niya kung aaralin. Kasi mas madali yung curated yung information. And then, paano mag-start ng MetaMask and everything. Ano pa ba? Yun nga, yung MetaMask, syempre. Make sure na sa'yo yun, hindi sa iba. Kasi yun nga, kailangan it's ownership and protektahan niyo yung MetaMask niyo, please. Address. Yun po.
Tsaka may
Kasi
link ba tayo to join the Discord? Actually, I don't even know how to join our Discord.
Naka-private ata yung crypto RTH.
Sa ngayon kasi hindi namin siya pinapublic kasi iniingatan namin yung mga tao na may maraming bots na pwedeng mag-invade ng Discord. So as much as possible, kung pwede nyong i-message yung Crypto RTH Twitter, mas maganda, or kami, isi-send namin yung nasa Twitter kami madalas, mas madali kaming ma-contact doon. So, ayun, and
Right.
Ngayon, may isa pang tanong, like, paano daw if they are not a first-time minter? So, maybe they have minted already in other blockchains, like on Object, for example, or sa Paras, kinimint ko, no? Pero,
Yeah.
paano kaya yung pag ganun?
Initially, parang I was thinking about that kasi some people have applied. Parang to me at this point, parang it's okay na since hindi pa sila nakaka-mint sa Ethereum blockchain, parang okay lang na gawin. Nung una, last year, super strict ako doon eh. Pero ngayon, I think, kasi ang mahal talaga ng Ethereum, kahit nakapag-mint na sila sa iba, parang bigyan na rin na natin ng chance na mag-mint sa Ethereum kasi nandun naman yung talagang karamihan ng market. So, pwede, they're allowed to do that. Pero kunyari, pero primarily pa rin talaga, ang target natin is talagang wala pa siyang na-mint sa kahit anong blockchain. So, kunyari, yung pila natin, kunyari lang may 100 people, tapos lahat sila, di ba, kunyari, kahit nauna ka, ipa-prioritize natin yung wala pa talagang first mint talaga siya, first mint. So, but kung wala na at papayagan natin yung people who have minted on other blockchains and can't afford the fees on Ethereum. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for those who are listening na artists who wants to get involved and actually join this minting party with First Mint Fund and Crypto Art PH, you guys can actually look at the guides from Bitpinas, like how to set up your MetaMask and other like NFT related resource. I think that's a really good educational piece to get you guys started. And then just to clarify, the artists need to apply through the firstmintfund.com website. That's the first step. And then they get redirected to the Discord group. Tama ba?
Pwede, yeah. Gawin ko na lang yan, Jopet. Ganun na lang process natin. So, pwede ring diretso sila sa
Okay.
actually, yeah, it would be better. The first step is go to firstmintfund.com, and then I'll ask Jopet for the secret link to the Discord channel. And then if they're approved, I'll reply there and say, um, yes, we will mint your first work, and then join the Discord group on Sunday. Para live yung minting nyo dun sa channel. Yun,
Right.
para we hit hopefully more than it will be, ilan ba gusto natin, Chopet, sa 2 oras? Baka, basta magpakita lang isa, okay na, happy na ako. Maybe natin isang
Nako,
dosena, ganun. Mga 10 at least,
yan.
ganun.
And sana yung Genesis piece nila ready na rin, di ba? Para
That's a good
yung first
idea.
mint.
Yeah.
Ngayon, doon na rin ba eksakto yung first minting nila? O pwede gawin na
It would be nice that they could mint it there na parang okay, send the funds. Send the fund. Tapos tingnan natin, naglabas na ba to ng ganun. So parang may konting usapan, pero it would be nice that they mint their first piece there. Pero kung for some reason they can't really make their first piece there, okay lang din. They already have the funds. Ang problema lang is kung napadala natin ng fund, tapos hindi sila nakapag-mint at the time, tapos bukas iba na yung gas fees, wala na siyang pangbayad, di ba? Baka mas mahal na yung fees na hindi na natin siya mabibigyan ng extra pangbayad. So ideally, they should mint during that time kasi yun yung current prices, di ba?
Okay. And the minting party is gonna happen actually on this coming Sunday.
Jopet, pa?
Or wala pang definite date and time. Or people can just like look at the Facebook page or Twitter page to get more details.
Bakit? What happened?
Parang sira yata audio mo,
Oo nga.
Jopet.
Siguro,
Nag-ano ka?
kasi it's a social
Nagpe-feedback. So,
the plan is on Sunday. Siguro if they follow Crypto Art PH on Twitter, they can
Get more details.
Yeah, parang this Sunday 5 to 7 p.m. on the Crypto Art PH call this Discord channel, and then as many people as we can get into to our frame window. Hopefully marami.
Right.
And then the idea is to do more of it. Of it. So whether it's via Crypto RPH or other partners, pero kung saan may mga tao at kailangan nila ngayon din, kailangan ko na ng pang-fund para sa first mint ko, first NFT ko. Okay, game. Kung mangyayari siya sa Twitter Spaces, titingnan ko lang yung bigyan na kita. Yung nangyari before, yung sinabi ko who earned millions from her NFT, na-meet ko lang siya sa sa isang channel sa Clubhouse. Sabi ko, taga-Indonesia siya. Sabi niya, from Indonesia, I want to mint my first NFT, blah, blah, blah. Tapos chinek ko yung work niya sa Twitter habang nagsasalita siya. Tapos, okay, you're approved. Sinabi ko sa we'll mint your first NFT. We like your work. Parang gano'n. Tapos tuwang-tuwa siya. Tapos yun, ang dami na niyang benta na NFTs. Mga millions na. So, nagbalik siya ng funding sa First Mint Fund. Siguro mga 200,000 pesos din siguro pinilik niya. So,
bring it forward.
May tanong si Miss April, no? So, I guess to clarify na lang din, is this event in particular for Filipinos only?
April. Ano, Jopet? Pang Pinoy lang ba ito?
Private po yung Discord natin for Filipino lang kasi since this is
Okay.
in part ng celebration sa National Arts Month. So, yun po.
Okay. Yeah, I think since the Discord is a Pinoy Discord and in celebration nga of the National Arts Month, di ba?
Yeah.
Yun. So we want to onboard a lot more Filipinos into the space who are interested in it. Yeah, si April is the mom of Sevi. She's one of the Sevi is one of the first Mint Fund artists that we supported. I think pangalawa or yeah, pangalawa yata siya. And then he's doing really well in the NFT space.
Okay. So looks like ang mga first Mint Fund alumni or alums are nandito sa webcast natin, no? And
Mm-mm.
how about people or artists who just want to help? Okay lang naman,
Yeah.
di ba? So they could just join the Discord, the party, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah,
tulong-tulong
yeah,
na lang on the thing. Okay.
yeah. People might ask questions. Ano ba yung wallet? Ano ba yung ah baka sabi, ingat lang sila, wag lang sila magbibigay ng mga passphrase nila sa kahit sino doon. Kahit
Yeah.
kami pa yung nandun yun, kahit mukha pa namin yung tama ba, Jopet? Walang share ng ano.
Yeah, ingatan, sobra personal banking to, men. So, kailangan maging
Mm.
ready ka to protect yung identity mo rin. And, yeah. And, nga pala, kung merong mga musicians dyan, poets na gustong mag-perform sa Discord server habang sila, join us. Mas stable lang Discord server kaysa sa Twitter Spaces. So, yun.
Tsaka kung kailangan nila mag-mint ng music nila, you want to
Yeah.
support them as well. So in
We
terms of
actually
what kind
wanted
of
to ask that.
artists, yeah, and what kind of artists, what kind of NFT they want to mint, it doesn't really matter. It could be poetry, it could be music, it could be a JPEG, it could be video, it could be a Word document, whatever. If they're a writer, for example, it doesn't matter. Basta Pinoy ka, first time mo na ano, wala ka pang nagagawang NFT before on Ethereum blockchain, we'll support you.
Ayan. Mukhang pwede tayo mag-apply, Chin, dito.
Go, why not? Do your first NFT drop.
Yeah, I'll invite my artist friends to participate. Kasi, I mean, most of my friends that I invite to mint their NFT, they really need to grasp the concept of NFTs. And I think with all the educational resources now and the talks available like online, can actually open up their minds and like try this platform for designers or artists, diba? So yeah, I'll definitely recommend this event happening this coming week. Ayan.
Yeah. And
Nice.
speaking of yung education to NFTs, no? So spotlight natin kay Sir Jopet. And you've been when I first nagsimula ako sa paghahanap ng mga NFT artists, ikaw yung isa sa mga una kong nakita, no? Kina AJ, kina Colleen, kina Sevi. So if you can share with us a brief background of yung art background mo and what have you
Yeah.
been doing since then and up to now.
Ayun, nag-restart ako ng art journey ko as a painter ng 2017. But before that, matagal na rin ako sa Web2. So sa DeviantArt, lurker ako doon. Kung alam mo yung mga nangyayari sa DeviantArt and everything. So yun. And then digital nomad ako since 2010, I guess. Parang ganun. Nag-start ako sa mga crowdsourcing websites, yung mga contest. So, from then on, na-build ko yung portfolio ko because of that. Hanggang sa makahanap ako ng mga client ko long-term. Yung early boom ng iOS games, ayan, kasama ako doon sa mga gumagawa ng mga games doon. Yun. And then, later naging illustrator sa iba't ibang mga projects online, mga startups. So, ayun yung mga pinaka-background ko. And then, from 2017 up to now, I'm a full-time painter. So, yun. With a lot of mediums na ginagamit. So, yun yung aking art background.
And, ano yung mga kasi madalas kitang nakikita sa mga Twitter Spaces et cetera, and one time when we were talking, you mentioned na parang fully working ka in the metaverse, parang talagang metaverse Filipino worker ka, 'no? So, ano ba yung madalas mong, ginagawa, like how do you onboard more, Filipinos into Filipino artists into NFTs?
Sa ngayon, nag-start kami sa Crypto Art PH. I think mga February din yun. Hinanap ko lang yung mga Filipino artist galing sa Crypto Art Week Asia. And then from then, sabi ko gawa tayo ng Discord server na para siguro mga first few months parang 4-5 lang kami. Hanggang dumating yung March, yung kay Beeple drop. So after nung kay Beeple, sobrang dami ng Filipino artist na gusto sumama, gustong ma-onboard. So, ayun, simula dun sa Discord, nag-start kami to Twitter, nag-connect, and then, yeah, yun yung ano. And as a Filipino metaverse worker, ayun, I'm doing commissions sa gamit ng NFTs. Siyempre, and mga NFT drops ko sa known origin, and yun, na-survive ko yung 2021 because of galing dun sa sales ng NFT sales ko sa mga platforms. Ayun, na-hospitalize ako twice this ng 2021, and found collectors na tinulungan ako during those times na hindi ako nag-beg or something. Pero yun nga, kaya I'm fully onboarding, and I would like to help then other artists na makita nila yung value nila, na katulad nga na sinasabi ni Sir AJ kanina, finally di ko na kailangan i-print sa t-shirt or ilagay sa mug yung artwork ko. Yung artwork itself, may value siya, and people will find value sa ginawa mo, kahit JPEG man yan or painting or yeah. So yun yung ano. Yeah.
Saan ba, ito may dalawang Twitter, sites dito, and may mga Facebook din sila. Saan ba magandang magpunta yung mga bagong NFT artists or yung mga bagong artist na magta-try mag-NFTs? So, apart from these two, saan pa ba yung mga groups or Facebook or Discord na pwede nilang mapuntahan?
Napakaraming mga place na pwede nilang puntahan. Marami rin kasi mga micro-tribes. Pero kung gusto nilang gumawa ng mga projects, mainly nandyan yung NFT PH para tulungan sila. Maraming mga resources din dyan, and ready sumagot. 24/7 may kasagot sa'yo, may magbibigay ng tips sa'yo kung paano ka mag-start ng projects. Kami naman sa Crypto Art PH, mostly mga artist talaga siya na gustong mag-venture na one of ones, who want to be free, na yung mga walang teams, na yung mga ganun. So, na gustong mahanap talaga yung ground nila sa paggawa ng art, at kung paano magagamit ang NFT as a medium para mabigyan ng boses yung art nila. So, yun.
Yes. AJ, okay. So, salamat doon, Tito Jobs. And ngayong February is yung National Arts Month. And ngayon din babalita na nasa Senate na yung tinatawag na Creative Industries Charter of the Philippines Act. So this is more about promoting yung development ng creative content, and protecting creators like you or AJ, like us, from property rights or IP rights encroachment. Hindi ko natatanong kung bakit ngayon lang ito sa tingin nyo, but ano yung thoughts nyo into ano yung wish nyo na dapat nandito sa bill na ito na pinagde-debate ng ating mga senators ngayon? Sir AJ?
Ako, I think it's long overdue for something like this to happen in the government. No, at least the conversation to start the bill to basically acknowledge and help this whole industry. Kasi minsan nakalimutan natin, pero I think Filipinos are one of the most creative, or not the most creative people in the world, and I really believe that. So parang tama lang na ngayon na gawin nyo na yan, parang government, to really focus on this industry and really help people like us who are almost even yung invisible, kasi we do things in the background. So you're showing that slide of I lost my gig.ph, and sobrang affected yung creative industry, not just people like us in the background, but also in the out there who are working, musicians or people who are
Yes.
working in the music and film industry. Totoong mga trabaho yun na physical, may physical aspect of work. So that whole industry is affected. They do have a bill that is separate from this bill, which helps the freelancers like myself. So yung I think it's called something like a freelancer act. So sobrang okay na they have that bill that takes talks about like contracts and like yung payment na dapat 15 days lang after the work is finished. Tapos na kasi dito we have the horror stories of people chasing a 2,000 peso check after 6 months of doing the work, or sabi nila, oh, 2 years ko nang hinahabol yung cheque ko sa magkano ba? 2,000. Alam mo yun? So, sobrang kawawa yung, a lot of the creative workers of the Philippines. So, um, yun. Sobrang timely at kailangan talaga ng gantong bill at hopefully maipasa na siya sa Senado.
And Tito Jopet?
Yeah, I think ito na yung next phase ng creative. Kasi since ang next generation is more on creativity na, content creation, and we need to face yung upcoming ano, sabihin, the machine uprising. Alam naman natin nangyayari sa AIs, di ba? And kung ang gaano ka bilis yung progress nun, di ba? And I think yung creativity ng pagkatao natin, kailangan maging ready tayo when that happens na ano ba yung mga iba pang trabaho na pwedeng gawin ng mga tao when that happen. And I think this bill will help so much more Filipinos na mag-venture and wag matakot na kasi 'di ba kaya maraming natatakot sa ganitong field kasi ay may pera ba diyan, protected ka ba diyan, and finally ngayon i-recognize na rin tayo ng mga ng government kasi 'di ba pag maraming mga forms online or pag mag-apply ka or maggagawa ka, nasan yung mga painters, nasan yung mga artist, wala hindi sila kasama nasa others, 'di ba, kung makikita nyo. Kaya hopefully let's push this and let's bring more voices and ayun, and andito kami to also help other Filipino artists na ma-push din to sa metaverse and stuff. Ayun.
And tying this into NFT and crypto and Web3, 'di ba? Wherein sinasabi natin na Web3 is where yung creators na are in charge and owning talaga yung kanilang or yung ating mga works online. So, ngayong buwan is the National Arts Month, and I'm not sure kung merong programs na related sa NFT, no? But ito na yung part ng ating webcast wherein we will ask questions that we prepared for our guests, and if may questions pa from our audience. So, unahin na natin yung one of the biggest questions itong mga nakalinggo. So, what are your thoughts on people or saying that NFT actually destroys the environment? So, sino kayang mauna? Sir AJ?
Teka. Yeah, I've heard this before. Nung una, parang getting into something, I also take a look. Ano ba what's really behind it? Why are people saying that? And then I had to learn about um, proof of stake, proof of work, and all that. And it takes a whole, parang a lot of energy to be able to create things on the blockchain. So I think with any kind of technology, when it's new, I think while they're trying to perfect that technology, they're gonna use up a lot of resources. So, for example, if we went back in the day and saw the first computer, yung napakalaking ganong karaming isang kwarto yata yung size niya. I think it would be the same as saying why are you making that? It's such a waste on metal, parang ganon. You're destroying the environment. But now our computer is in our hand, diba? So parang yung, to me, um, parang there is while there is an effect on the environment, parang I want to see how it evolves and improves. Kasi for example, we're gonna go a little bit technical. Parang once the Ethereum blockchain, which has a lot of the most of the NFT market, once they turn into they change and upgrade their technology to become proof of work, um, a proof of stake instead of proof of work, yun na mawawala na yung need niya for high energy use. So, yung ganon. So, while there is a concern for that, I think the future of the technology will improve and make it more sustainable. So it's also the same as parang, but to me lang is marami lang kasing nabobola nung may nagsabi, each NFT daw is this, ano. You can't really compute that, eh. You can't compute how much like each NFT is, how much energy it's all parang they're just deducing something, and then they're also parang trying to scare everybody to think it's really bad. But they don't consider, for example, um, parang saying, "Oh, YouTube, you are so bad. You should not exist because there's so much energy with watching YouTube." And it's true, diba? Or you're so bad because you watch Netflix 4 or 5 hours a day. You shouldn't be watching Netflix because the energy consumption of watching Netflix is equivalent to this, which is it's true. It's equivalent to whatever. If you Google it, you'll see it's pretty big, the consumption of Netflix. So nobody's saying that. So yun lang. Parang I'm more of the I'm willing to see that there's energy and environmental issues, but also willing to see how can it improve and how can it work. And I keep an open mind about it.
I
That's my
guess it comes
answer.
with ano 'no, with technology na bago,
It comes
lahat
with
ng
technology
technology
that's new.
nagbago. Mm.
Exactly. So yun, but we never question like they talk about that for Bitcoin mining. It's so energy intensive, but they don't talk about that about gold mining. It's which is also quite terrible. Or it's the same people that you shouldn't do NFTs. You're dumb for doing NFTs for ruining this environment of ours. Tapos nakikita mo yung tweet nila, tweeted from an iPhone. So parang if you really want to save the environment, you shouldn't buy an iPhone. You shouldn't buy a phone. Uh, yun. You shouldn't watch Netflix. You shouldn't buy a T-shirt or any kind of shoes. Just wear the shoes that you've worn 10 years ago. Or you shouldn't eat meat. So yung ganon. Yeah, kung may ganong tao tas sinabi niya yun, then kudos to that person. But sometimes it's all just a lot of it is ano lang eh. Ang tawag doon? Virtue signaling that oh, it's
Mm.
bad because they heard they read an article or they read the headline of an article that says it's bad, so they in their mind it's bad and you shouldn't be doing it without really delving into what it is and what the technology brings. So yeah, hopefully at the end it improves and everything improves and it becomes much better in terms of the energy consumption and the effect on the environment.
Yes. And I guess another thing na for our audience then to understand or to know if ever is that yung NFT transaction or yung NFT is just one part of sa madaming transactions na nagaganap sa Ethereum.
Mm.
Like may swapping dyan, may lending, etc. So one part lang talaga actually yung NFT transfer, and it doesn't even, if you're just looking at the NFTs online sa foundation, it doesn't how do you say it? It doesn't destroy the environment per se kasi tinitignan mo lang siya. So, yeah. And
That's a
then,
that's a good point as well.
yeah, so actually sabihin ko na, it is one of the points of Luis Benaventura dun sa kanyang um article about this one, myths and fallacies about NFTs. So yeah, and then ito yung madalas na sinasabi, no? So, i-right click and save ko na lang yung NFT and then I have the NFT already. So, thoughts on this, Tito Jobs? Nakita ko tumatawa ka.
Ayun. Ay, kasi, kung i-right click and save mo, nakuha mo lang yung image or yung file. Hindi mo talaga nakuha yung NFT. Kasi token yun eh. Nasa transaction records yun eh. Diba? Kaya, minsan nakala nila natitrigger yung mga tao or kami mga NFT artists nagagalit pag ginagawa yun. Hindi, parang nagpicture ka lang ng image ni Mona Lisa tapos i-claim mo na ikaw yung may ownership doon. Di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng i-own porket nasa iyo yung image or di ba? Kaya, yun lang. Nakakatawa lang and nakakalungkot. Pero hopefully sana merong next, mag-level up yung conversation pagdating doon. Kaya, ayun.
Yes, thank you, Tito Jobs. And alam kong medyo may time limit si Sir AJ. So, and wait lang. Ayan. So, ito yung one of our...
we can a bit. Yeah, we can extend.
Yeah, thank you. So, ito yung gusto ko sana itanong sa inyong dalawa. And ito kasi yung madalas na may nakikinig din tayo na sinasabi sa messages that NFT daw actually hurts small time artists. So, totoo ba ito? And if both of you can answer this question.
I think that's just the opposite of it. As in, parang you're given, parang napakasarap maging artist ngayon. Kasi kahit whether you're small, whether you're from the deepest corners of the Philippines, as long as you have the internet. Unang-una nagkaroon tayo ng internet, di ba? Pangalawa, nagkaroon tayo ng computer na pwede mong hawakan. So, and then you can spread it out to the world. And then, nung nagkaroon ng NFTs and Web3, nagkaroon ng opportunity na lagyan natin ng actual value yung work na yon na ginawa mo sa computer or digitally, or whether it's in a camera or a phone or a computer. Bigyan natin ng opportunity na gawin natin, lagyan natin ng value and be able to exchange that value across the internet wherever you are in the world. So to me, it's parang how can you see that it hurts small time art? It actually elevates small time artists to a global scale. Kasi I've been personally, like for myself, I've been working online since 2008 and started doing that in year 2000, which is 22 years ago. And nung panahon na dial up pa lang yung modem, and I'd already realized na I can work for anybody wherever they are and they can pay me for something. And because of the internet. So ito, parang I will never see it as something that hurts small artists. In fact, it's the opposite. Any kind of technology that helps you parang showcase your work to the world, and not just showcase and where they can download the actual JPEG and take it and think it's for themselves. Now to actually put a value on that piece of work and say, okay, I can attach a value there, a number that I can pay you to receive this NFT. So parang I will never see it as hurting. Actually, it's helping. It's helping.
I would like to add yung during the year, more than a year with encountering Filipino artists sa metaverse. One thing I realized na halos lahat na nakilala ko na artist na expert sa field na to, hindi sila galing sa Manila. Meron galing sa Zamboanga, nandiyan si Skipper Jemex, na they are earning, and one of the earliest NFT artists sa space, andyan si Oo Ako si Mohini, a Filipina, 'di ba? Na nag-thrive siya because of the community, the glitch art community sa NFT. 'Di ba? How can they refute that na ganun eh. May nabigyan ng voices yung mga tao na imposibleng mahanap or makita kung wala sila sa mga Comic-Con or sa mga conventions dito sa Imperial Manila, 'di ba? Na finally na they can do and create value for their people. And it helps so many artists right now. And kahit katulad na lang rin yung sa Titik Poetry na dati nagpo-perform sila ng libre sa mga bus, sa palengke at kung saan-saan. Pero now, they can perform sa Twitter Spaces. Tapos, may minsan may nagbibigay sa kanila or nabebenta nila yung mga poetry nila. 'Di ba? So,
Mm,
imposible kasi na it hurts small-time artists kasi, 'di ba?
absolutely.
Nila
Yeah.
yung malalaking sales eh. Pero yung mga grassroots na nangyayari sa Philippines sa Filipino community na sobrang empowered ngayon ng mga emerging, I will call them emerging artists kasi we are learning together using this technology paano pa natin mapupush yung boundaries ng tinatawag nating art. So, yun po.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
just to
good
add to
point.
that, I think literally one of our first Mint Fund recipients is a small artist, literally, kasi 8 years old lang siya eh, si Sevi. And his story was pretty amazing kasi um, he had autism. They found out he had autism like when he was 4 or 5, and then he turned into art to help his case and his condition, and then and by painting it really helped his him as a young kid to painting was his therapy basically.
Yeah.
And so when we funded his works, he was able to sell his works. And alam niyo na pag nagte-therapy ang isang bata, hindi yan mura. So yung NFTs niya were actually the ones that helped him fund some of his therapy sessions. So literally small artist siya, maliit lang siya. Ngayon lumalaki na siya. He's yeah. And yeah, he couldn't have done that outside of that space.
Yeah.
If he could have gone the traditional route of going with the galleries and all that, pero who would do that during COVID? Who would go to the malls and go to his exhibits and buy his works? And NFTs really changed that for him. And so to me, it's just an opportunity for everybody. Kahit yun, maliit ka or malaki, literally it helps everybody.
Thank you so much, Sir AJ and Tito Jopet, no? And hopefully then sa audience natin is naliwanagan kayo on those questions. And I think siguro final question for both of you. So, syempre may first win fund and people can go there and so that they can so that makaka-shoulder the gas fees nila sa Ethereum. So but generally speaking lang. So how do artists should get onboarded or paano kaya sila pwede magsimula sa NFT journey nila?
Well, they can start with us through First Mint Fund. Before that, they can ideally they should go to YouTube University and say, how do I create my first NFT? So tuturuan ka doon paano mag-create ng wallet, paano bumili ng Ethereum para magbayad sa gas fees, tapos tuturo nila kung ano yung mga marketplaces where you can sell your first NFT. It'll teach you there sa YouTube University or sa College of Google. So they can do that, and then when they come to firstmintfund.com, they can just prepare their portfolio, their body of work that they have from before, ideally, and then we take a look at the work and say, okay, let's approve this. We'll give that person funding for their first NFT. Pero ideally, magkaroon muna siya ng konting aral lang sa YouTube tsaka sa Google, tapos sumali sa mga ganto at sumali sa Twitter Spaces, sa Jopet, and then also join the Discord channel. And sobrang dami talagang matutulungin dito sa group sa NFT, lalo na dito sa Philippines. Marami nagtutulungan. So, welcome lahat.
Thank you, Sir AJ and Tito Jobs.
Ayun. Yun ang maganda dito eh. Merong first mid fund na kasama na unlike before na sa amin, wala nag first mid fund sa amin eh. Well, may mga friends kami na bigay, mura lang kasi ang gas fee nun, $2 eh. Kaya okay lang ibigay yung $2, nila naman yun eh. Pero yun nga, imagine na right now, sabihin natin nasa 5,000 to 10,000 to 20,000 yung gas fee, 'di ba? Ang laking tulong no na imposible yung ibang mga artist or na nakakatakot na ceiling or entry point. Pero with the First Mint Fund right now, sobrang bilis, sobrang dali. All you need to do is to be ready. And of course, artist sana, hopefully. And kung hindi man sila artist na gusto nilang meron silang heart to create, then prepare sila ng portfolio nila. Build their story, build yung body of works, 'di ba? Later and then mag-apply sa First Mint Fund. So yun po.
Ayun. So, yeah, and ipapakita ko na lang yung, well, this is the Nara Gallery na pwede nyong puntahan din. Meron sila nag-showcase sila, no, Tito Jobs, ng mga art sa parang virtual gallery talaga. So, instead of going to a physical gallery, dun naman siya. So, I think that's the end of our session.
Yeah.
And, hold on. Ayan. So, would like to thank Tito Jopet and Sir AJ
Yeah.
for this one. So, I know you're very busy then, and medyo may miscoms pa doon. Akala natin Twitter Spaces. So,
It's
yeah, and
okay.
thank you. Thank you so much. And siguro kay Jopet and AJ, where can people find you, and any final words na lang? So, simulan natin kay Sir AJ.
Yeah, Jopet, backupan mo ako ah. So gagawin natin is for people who want to join the First Mint Fund minting party on Sunday, apply muna kayo sa firstmintfund.com. Tapos we'll just quickly check the portfolio. Tapos if you're eligible, we'll reply with sendan mo ako Jopet ng Discord link so I can send it to them to join it on Sunday. And then we can do the minting there live with everybody else. Tapos ideally, they should have a wallet already or gawin ba natin Jopet mag-live opening of wallets sa ano. Pero we'll see anyway. Basta do firstmintfund.com first, apply muna. Tapos kung hindi kayo sure anong gagawin, there's First Mint Fund on Twitter. There's also Crypto Art PH on Twitter. And you can also follow me on Twitter, AJ Dimarucot. Ikaw, Jopet.
Ayun. So marami dito rin. Yung ibang mga artist na nasa Discord na rin sila, pero okay lang rin. Para sa mga wala pa, para makapag-get on board kayo, mag-aralan nyo na po ang Discord. Pinakamadali, kahit hindi nyo po siya i-install, ilagay nyo lang, yung web browser lang po. Malaking tulong na rin
Yeah.
po siya para hindi kayo ma-spook. And then, may mga verification lang rin naman yung Discord, parang Facebook lang rin. Wala po kayong babayaran dyan. Hindi po namin kayo pipilitin mag-nitro boost. So, ayun, Discord and Twitter. Sobrang halaga po nun. At kami po, mahahanap niyo po ako as Tito Jopet sa Twitter. And yun po.
Yeah, and I'll just echo what they said, what Jopet said, no. They will never ask you for your seed phrase or your money or like transfer ka ng gantong amount. I think yun din, education on that is really, really important, especially
Yeah.
if you're a beginner. So, yun, never give your seed phrase, never send money or any type of cryptocurrency to like anyone, even if makita mo na picture ni AJ or picture ni Jopet or Bitpinas, for example, we will never ask you to transfer any amount or any information that you don't want to divulge or any type of information even. So yeah.
And yeah, and again, salamat kay Tito Jobs and kay Sir AJ. And Chin, where can also people find you? And I mean, if may final words ka then on the
I
topic.
think that was my final word, just to be really,
Mhm.
really careful with scams, like especially ngayon na new technology to and people aren't as educated. This is just like the beginning for like most of the people who might be listening or wants to mint their first NFT. Um, People can find me on Twitter. It's at Chinny. That's double I and then three Y's. I think I need to make sure na maayos yung Twitter username ko for future. But yeah, that's where people can find me, mainly on Twitter. Mike?
Okay. Yes, so thank you again sa ating audience and sa ating guest. And this is Michael from Big Pinas. Mag-ingat kayo sa scammers. We will never ask you to give us crypto. Lahat ng discussions dito is for information purposes only. Crypto is risky, play to earn is risky, and even NFT is actually risky. But merong first mint fund na magkakaroon ng minting party this Sunday. So read everything that you can bago yung meeting party na yon. Remember that
Yeah.
ignorance is expensive. Baka magkamali kayo ng bigay na wallet address. Read everything, watch everything that you can. This is the Bitpinas webcast. We're signing off. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
See you next
everyone.
week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.